Shout out to J&J.
So I just want to send a shout out to J&J Sports for having me once again.
This is, episodes, man. You guys got a real good thing going on.
Well, I thought we'd go ahead and discuss the Dallas Cowboys' #1 draft pick.
Let's do it.
So it's Tyler Booker, and he was taken from Alabama in the first round, the 12th overall pick, and he's an offensive lineman, specifically a guard.
Yeah.
I love this pick.
Yeah, I'm already knowing.
He's strong, he's enthusiastic, and fired up about being a Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know during the draft and around then, you saw Micah Parsons interview him on Pat McAfee's show. Mm-hmm. And, Micah Parsons, Cowboys defensive end, he was excited about his mindset.
Right.
And he was even saying things like, oh, go easy on me in practice. But then Booker's like, hey, how are we going to get better if I go easy on you?
Oh,
so
okay.
I like that.
All right, I like that energy. Yeah, that's some good energy to have.
And right after he got drafted, you see him running down the tunnel. He's screaming. He's excited.
Oh, yeah.
He's fired up.
Yeah, and you need those type of players, James, because that's his personality. You need that energy coming in because, your whole life's going to change. You know what I mean? Like, this not college. Like, this is the real deal. And hopefully he could bring a lot of value to the Cowboys offensive line.
Yeah. How important is a good mindset for a pro player?
Very good. I mean, it's very important because, like, if not, it's like, if you go in like, whatever, I'm going to just do me, you're not going to get far. You have to be electrified. You have to be a team player. You have to be all of that so your team can succeed. You know what I mean? Yeah.
This was positive, too, for the team and the other players who were drafted and stuff. Everybody, should keep that enthusiasm going through the summer and into this regular season.
Absolutely.
Checking out some of his pre-draft measurables. So he's 6'4" plus. He's 321 pounds.
Massive.
And his 40-yard dash, he's a lineman, but it was very respectable, 5.38. And the bench press, though, 21 reps of that 225. So that's pretty impressive,
yeah,
too.
Definitely.
So athleticism is supposed to be his biggest flaw, his biggest knock. They say that he's not terribly athletic.
Right.
Should Dallas be worried about this?
No. I think we have to really just let it play out. I know this first season, but he might surprise everybody. You know what I mean? A lot of people could say what they want, but he could be that. I feel like as long as he's doing his job covering.
I mean, how athletic are linemen really supposed to be?
Right? I mean, because it's like you gotta they have to be careful too because if they're too rough, refs on that, holding this and that affects the team. So it's like you gotta he can't be that athletic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of the major positives they said is that he's supposed to be really strong. So
right.
I think that. Do you think that kind of makes up for the?
Yeah, it does.
Lack of athletic?
Because it's like at that position you have to hold. So that he can either stay in the pocket, run, or whatever he needs to do. So yeah.
And Booker was named an SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week in 23. And then in the 2023 season, he started in 12 games, allowed just 2 sacks, and there were 4 pressures, and he got second team All SEC.
Okay.
Does college success translate to pro success, or can it?
Yeah, it can. It can. For not all players, but for some players in some positions, like running backs, it can. Yeah.
And we were kind of talking about pro-ready programs in general, and so Duke makes NBA players.
Yeah.
Could it be said that Alabama is known for making NFL players?
Yeah, absolutely. NFL, that's the capital of the NFL. Them and LSU.
I agree. I really feel like Alabama,
it's something
LSU
there. I don't know. Like it's greatness comes because we gotta think about it. Jalen Hurts came from there. A lot of guys came from there. So it's like, yeah.
I know that also kind of says a lot about which region of the country that people are from.
Right.
And I know the South, I mean, football's really big in the South.
Massive, yeah. And, I see, like, the North New Yorkers, I see they kind of coming along and showing that talent, but I think we're, like, the soil, the seed of it. So
I agree.
Yeah.
So he is going to replace the recently retired future Hall of Famer Zach Martin.
Yeah.
Excellent guard.
Right.
He was his whole career.
Mm.
So are the expectations high for Booker?
Yeah, absolutely, it is. But I feel like since Zach Martin is retired, he could come on and grab his shoulder and be like, "Look, I can." You know what I mean? I could teach you some things. So yeah.
And there's still a lot of linemen there who are, really excellent. I mean, you have Tyler Smith as the other guard, so
Yeah.
he's going to show him a few things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then, Cooper Beebe, our center, is kind of coming along too.
Mhm.
And it's going to be interesting. I know the biggest, weakest link on the Cowboys is Tyler Guyton, the left tackle. So he's going to have to step it up this year.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe with this new guy, they'll help each other out.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure.
So Florida, Georgia, Oregon, and Ohio State wanted him, but he decided to go to Alabama. So is there a bigger football tradition than Alabama?
Yeah, it kind of, the fact that he wanted to go there is questioning me, because that just shows how humble he is. We know Oregon is a big state. We know, like, they're popular, familiar. Not Alabama is too, but it's like it kind of humbles you there. Alabama, I feel like that was a good choice.
And he's also said to be a real high character guy.
Yeah.
And Dallas's head coach Schottenheimer really likes these high character guys.
Yeah.
So do you think that this is a good choice over a possible character risk?
Yeah, it's a good choice. Definitely a good choice, because his character, if his character is good, like better than his play style or toughness or whatever they could say, they can mold him. I was like, okay, you willing to listen? We can work with you. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And linemen in general, do you think that that's a boring draft pick?
Honestly, James, to start off, yeah, but I see what they're doing, like showing more recognition for the offensive line. You know what I mean? But we all know what everybody wants to see: a new quarterback, a new running back, wide receiver, offensive line's like you know what I mean? But now it is exciting for the teams that already have the quarterback and already have the that lineup, and it's like you just add, you know what I mean? But yeah. Like when they drafted, for me, example with the Saints, that was our first pick, offensive lineman, and I'm like, that shouldn't be our main focus. But that's a good addition.
See, I wanted to discuss that with you too, because do you think that they maybe should have taken Shador there instead?
Man, I thought that was the pick. I thought that, first of all, I thought he was going to be a first round pick, hands down. But I didn't. It was a lot that I didn't take into consideration with him and his dad. His dad it's his dad, really. It holds such a value to, it's like, okay, we don't want to deal with him too. Like, we want him, but we don't want to deal with, because the dad is, yeah.
What's so bizarre for me is I thought the same thing. It's like this guy's going early.
Yeah.
He's got that NFL pedigree,
Right.
his dad, and all
He
of that.
just had pro day. He did pretty good at pro day.
Why were all the analysts telling us though that he was going to go so early? I mean,
I don't know. I think it was the hype. You know what I mean? But I think how these drafts are, James, everything is off of, fame, who you know. You know what I mean? Familiarity, and they knew what they were doing. They were trying to break his spirit. You know what I mean? So.
And that was one of the most visible programs for the past 2 years because of Deion.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be us or the Cleveland Browns for sure, which he wound up going to the Cleveland Browns. But I know it was one of them teams. They were talking about the Giants, but I'm like, nah, I don't think he'll go to the Giants, to be honest. But no, man, we needed a quarterback. You know what I mean? That would have been perfect. All our other picks were perfect. Everything was great. And he's a good pick, too, the offensive lineman, but I know what we need. We need a quarterback. You know what I mean? And not knocking this new guy, what's his name? Sutton Tyler. He's a 26-year-old. I don't know, James. You know what I mean? But like I said, I don't want to knock him too early. I want to see how the season goes. So.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, when a lineman gets drafted, probably the quarterback and the running back are the people who get the most excited.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like, I could see if we had the quarterback thing kind of situated, but this last season, no, we didn't have it. We didn't have it. We couldn't secure it. You know what I mean? So hopefully this new guy can help us secure it, because we still on the contract with Derek Carr. He's hurt at the moment. He was a waste of money. And it's like, I don't know why we have a tendency of hiring, we like old like players. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Well, y'all had been spoiled by having Drew Brees for
A minute.
over a decade.
It's like he left a curse, James. I mean, ever since he left, it's yeah. And they're trying to replace that. They're trying to find. You can't find another Drew Brees. Like, you know what I mean? You just can't. You can't find it.
I wonder if the Saints would have taken Geno Smith instead, if things would have been a little different.
It would have been. Yeah, I'd take Geno Smith. Absolutely, that would have been. I'd have took him over. Yeah, because we seen what he did with the Seahawks. He was pretty good. You know what I mean? So.
And the Dallas Cowboys in general, they've taken a lot of linemen in the first round.
Yeah.
There was Tyron Smith in 2011, recently retired, and we spoke about this in a past episode, so please go check those out.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't think a future Hall of Famer pick is boring, really. But I mean, that's kind of looking back, so it's easy to do that.
Right.
And then there was Travis Frederick in 2013. He was excellent. 2014, Zach Martin, back-to-back first-round linemen. So how could a team benefit from taking linemen so early?
They could benefit a lot. They could benefit a lot. Like I said, we can benefit a lot too from picking this guy. I think he came out of was it Texas? Something like that. He came out of Texas, so we'll see.
What are the downsides to taking an offensive line?
The downsides. Too early. You miss out on some opportunities. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that Shador he was available for 4 rounds, man. We could have easily did a switch. Like, hold on, man. Nobody picking this guy up. I know the world was like going crazy. Why nobody pick this guy up? The son of Deion Sanders, you know, this and that. We could have grabbed him, James. Anybody could have grabbed him.
I was thinking that as we were discussing this, because I mean there was still time after y'all got that lineman to go back and pick up.
Do a switch, like, okay, for their next pick, okay, we can do a switch right quick, get him, and we got an extra running back, and our offense is good, the defense is good. It was just the quarterback. That's it.
And recently, too, a few years back, Tyler Smith was taken. So another guard.
Yeah.
And he was also an excellent pick and had enthusiasm that was really similar to Booker's.
Yeah.
So do you think we're going to see good things in the future from the Saints and Cowboys new linemen?
Yeah, we definitely going to see some good things for sure. But like I said, the quarterback has to be able to produce for them to shine light on the offensive line, because the offensive line could be doing their job great, but if that quarterback is not doing his, it devalues them. You know what I mean? So yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
And you know, looking back, the Cowboys had even got a possible first rounder in La'el Collins, and he had signed as an undrafted free agent. But this was after he was accused of murder. But he was completely cleared, and he played for the Dallas Cowboys for a long time.
Right.
So he went to LSU.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Are LSU players usually draft ready after a few years there?
Yeah. I mean, it's so many with us. Odell, Justin Jefferson, everybody. Joe Burrow. I always mention him. Which, you know, I can't wait to see this Bengals season and how they do. But yeah.
Yeah, that was my next question. Are you a fan of following LSU players through the NFL?
Definitely. If you come out of LSU, I know you're gonna be something special. Like Joe Burrow, he like the young Drew Brees to me. You know what I mean? He reminds me of him, even though Drew came from a whole different side of LA, whole different side of the region, but still, he gives me that vibe of Drew Brees, toughness. You know what I mean? He could throw that ball for sure.
So if you're the Saints general manager, how, who, or what are you trading to get Joe Burrow over to the Saints?
Oh, man. I trade one defensive, hot defensive player and offensive player.
Would you say buy the Kamara?
I couldn't trade Kamara, but well, I could, But it's like, nah, he in his prime right now.
And he brings that benefit to
Yeah.
the Saints.
And
too.
we just extended his contract. Nah, it had to be like a star offensive line and like a star corner. Like you get both of both worlds to get them.
And maybe like a draft pick. or
Yeah, and
something.
yes, a couple draft picks. 2 draft picks.
And why not just bring Chase along too while you're at it and get that?
Man, that's we going to the Super Bowl. That's no question. If we have him running, like that's a full team. That's like a Patriots New Orleans version team.
Do the Saints enjoy having LSU players from time to time on the roster?
Yeah, but it's very rare. You know what I mean? Like, but I get it. It's like it's not under their control. I know they might want to play for the Saints. You know what I mean? But it's not under their control.
They polish these players so much that by the time they do get to the draft, all these other teams are ready to
grab. Yeah, they're already on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, but like I said, I like the Bengals though, James. I like to see how they do. And then Higgins and him both got contract major extensions. We covered that, you guys. Make sure you check that out. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to seeing what both the Saints and Cowboys new linemen do. And I wish them the best of luck in the NFL.
Definitely,
for sure.
guys. Do we play this season? We gotta check it out, you guys. We gotta see the Cowboys and the Saints play.
Yeah, we need to.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Go over the schedule
Yeah.
for everyone and
Yeah.
go through it. But there is an interesting. It's not so much of a rivalry, but I know there's a definite friendship between the teams.
Yeah.
Because like anytime there's a hurricane or anything like that,
Yeah.
Jerry says, "Hey, come practice up here.
Yeah.
Come hang out up
It's
here."
it's more like a friendship type of thing, like a neighbor type thing. If anything, I feel like us and the Texans will probably have more of a rival than y'all, really. But I don't think it's a rival with them either. So
Yeah, it's kind of a friendly, maybe rivalry or just kind of a friendly competition between the teams.
Do you feel like the Texans and the Cowboys have like a rivalry?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that?
It's that interstate thing, and no matter what, there's always going to be people on both sides who get super angry at one another. But
I'm like, but I was confused about that because I'm like, ain't y'all in the same state? It would be, you would think, but
it's an I-45 rivalry, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because you can go on 45 and, be in the Texan city, and you go up north and you're in Dallas.
Dallas, right, yeah. True.
I have been to 2 of the games where they've played and what's interesting is you'll see husbands and wives wearing separate jerseys, but they're holding hands.
Wow,
so
that's funny. Like, I know it's real comedic when they play. Okay, if they play this season, James, because we can't forget about C.J. Stroud and what he's about to continue doing. Who do you feel like would they be a challenge for the Cowboys, the Texans right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
They played just this last season, and Dallas hung on for about one half, and then Houston just took over.
CJ, yeah. So we'll see.
But y'all let us know what you think about the draft picks and linemen as a draft pick. Is it boring or necessary?
Definitely. I feel like it's definitely necessary, for sure.
And then up next,
J&J Sports.
Coming to y'all live in 2025.